What it is, world, back again for my second video of my 50 favorite games. Today, this time, I'm going over Chrono Trigger. I'm pretty sure a lot of you know what that game is. It's pretty famous. If you've never played it, I'm pretty sure you've heard of it. It's one of the most renowned RPGs of all time. Came out back on the Super Nintendo, but I didn't get my hands on it until about 5 or 6 years ago. Got it on PC, played the ROM like I did most old school SNES games, because I was too fucking young to play them back then. And this one really stood out of my mind a whole lot, and made itself known, because I feel like Chrono Trigger was way ahead of its time. Chrono Trigger I played it a few years back. I felt like the game just came out. I mean, like, to even think that this game came out back in, I don't even recall when this game was released, but to think that it came out around the time that it did come out, the battle system and how everything back then was pretty much just tap attack, and then your little sprite will slide across the screen and do a little slash animation. To think that the detail going to this battle system, how the sprites actually kind of had a life about them that wasn't really seen in games at this time, and you know, the really flashy special attacks that were more than just, you know, a little bolt of lightning that slid across the screen, or a little pixelated fire that would show a flash for a second and then fade away with some damage numbers showing up. I feel like they really went all out with Chrono Trigger, and it was so far ahead of its time. No other games around it were doing that, and hell, even a lot of games nowadays don't match up to what Chrono Trigger did ages ago.
Oh shit! Hold up! God damn! What the fuck is that thing, man? What the? What the fuck? This the best game I ever played.
You know, it was just phenomenal in all aspects. You know, to think that a game that came out at that time had branching story paths and points where, and the new game plus, which nowadays isn't really big of a deal. It's something that's common in a lot of adventure RPGs and action games, but back then, New Game Plus was unheard of. You know, like, one out of every 100 games actually had it, and this one had it to where you finish the game, you go back and fight the last boss at certain points in the game. Even one point being right at the beginning of the game, after the basic intros, scenario festival or whatever in Chrono Trigger, you can fight the boss right there and unlock a new ending, or face them after the ruined future and unlock a new ending. You know, like, you could go back in the New Game Plus and unlock different endings. So to think that a game of that time had that much to it and games nowadays even slack in the department that a game that came out ages ago in Chrono Trigger did perfectly. You know, games nowadays don't even match up to this game that came out years ago, which is why it stood out so much to me and left such a big mark on me. Not to mention that this game had one of the best soundtracks I've ever heard. Some of the most memorable music as far as video games go. This game has quite a few tracks, and if you search YouTube, you'll find hundreds of remixes done to these tracks. And that then shouts out to those producers, because they've done wonderful jobs making those fascinating tracks even better. Chrono Trigger, the music was insane. Schala's theme is still one of my favorite video game tracks, and on any top 10 video game music list, Schala's theme should be in there. And if it's not, I don't know what the hell is wrong with the dude who made it. But it's pretty much I'm doing this one. Just know this video is probably a little bit shorter than the last one, and some of you probably like, thank God, you know. Some of you are, why the fuck don't you have more to say about this game? And was really not a lot to say. I mean, if you played Chrono Trigger, you know how good it is, and if you haven't, get off your ass, download it now. They have a remake on the DS. They got, I think you can download it on the iPhone App Store. I mean, it's out there and it's easy to find. It's no excuse for you to not have played Chrono Trigger at this point in time, unless you're like some 5-year-old kid who doesn't know how to fucking type on a computer or phone. So that's all for this one, really. Chrono Trigger, great game, one of my favorites. Probably like third best RPG I've ever played in my life. I'll leave it at that. I'm starting to ramble on. Like I said, this is Tujex Jr. and Dominique Gamers. I'll see you guys next time on the next video, and I'm out.